Danny Boy for piano, the perfect way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day for 2021. Join me as we learn how to play this easy, slow piano tutorial for beginners. Together, we'll learn how to play Danny Boy with chords, lettering, and fingering. This simplified version of Danny Boy is also known as Londonderry Air. This piece is one of the most well-known and most well-loved famous Irish tunes throughout the world. This piano arrangement is based on Grainger's version, and if I do say so myself, Danny Boy for piano is the perfect way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day for 2021. If you're ready, let's jump straight into the lesson. Before we begin learning our song, let's make sure we know what key signature the piece is in. So in this piece, we are in the key of D major, and the key of D major has an F sharp as well as a C sharp. So make sure you keep that in mind, especially when you're working through the chords, and it'll also help you when you're trying to learn the melody. There's a free download for the music for Danny Boy, so be sure to download and print this so you can follow along and practice with me. So to start off this piece, you want to start with your second finger on the C sharp, O, Danny, and then for boy, you're going to play the F sharp and the one chord in your left hand, so D, F sharp, and A. And then you're going to switch to a D seventh chord, so you're going to add that C natural. And then for calling, all you're going to do is play the 4 chord, and in this version you can just play the G and the B, or you can play the entire triad, the 4 chord, G, B, and D. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a lesson. Back to the 1 chord. And then you're going to play the 1 chord, but this time you're going to play the 1 chord in your left hand, but you're going to switch it to the second inversion. So that means you have the A, and you're going to put the A down as the new root, so it becomes the second inversion. So second inversion, and then it makes it super easy when you want to play the 5 chord, because all you have to do is just shift your finger positions from these notes, the F, the A, D, and F sharp, down to A, C sharp, and D. So you keep the A, 5th finger the same. Then you're going to move from the 5 chord, and you're going to make that a 5-7 chord. So that's the A 7th chord. Now, if you want to get really fancy, instead of playing just the E on the word side, you can actually create a suspended chord. So you could play in your right hand instead of just the melody side. You could add the 5 chord, but then you're going to play B, D, B, C sharp. So it sounds something like this. That's the suspended chord. You don't have to, it's optional. And then back to the main melody, the 1 chord, the D chord, D7 chord, back again to the 4 chord. I'm just choosing to play just the 2 notes of the 4 chord. You can play it as an octave, you can play it as all 3, it's totally up to you. There's the 1 chord in second inversion, which makes it easy for us to get to the 5-7 chord, which is the A, C sharp, E, and G, and back to the 1 chord. For this next part, you're going to want to start up on the A, and again, it's just the 1 chord. Now you're going to play the 4 chord in second inversion. So let's look at the 4 chord really quick. In the key of D major, it is G, B, and D. And to make that into a first inversion, you're going to throw this D down, and it becomes D, G, and B. And that makes it super simple when you need to get back to the 1 chord, which is D, F sharp, and A. Want to take a deeper dive into this lesson? Be sure to click the link below in the description box, and I will leave you a link so you can access the practice along feature with me. Now, for this part, I like to walk some of my notes and chords. So when you have the C, C sharp, this takes you down to the 6th chord, which is B minor. So let's look at that one more time. So meadow, or when C sharp, just walk that note down, and then you're going to land on the 6th chord, which is B minor. Back to that 4 chord in a second inversion, which makes it super easy to get back to the root chord. Now here you can either play an A or an A7, and also optionally you can add the suspension. So like this, as we talked earlier, B, D, B, C sharp, and then you're going to want to switch that root chord, the 5, to a 7 chord. So from an A chord to an A7 chord. It's totally up to you. Make it your own. Back to the 1 chord. 4 chord in second position. Now here we have a group of 16th notes and a walking chord. So what you'll want to do is practice these 16th notes by themselves first, because that's a bit of that's new, and that's a lot of notes in a short space of time. So for the right hand, and then for the left hand, you're going to play the root chord, and you're going to walk down your left hand with the C sharp and down to the B. So it's like we did before, but this time they're 8th notes. So 1 and 2 and. So you're landing on the B, which is just the root note of the 6th chord, which is B minor. So it sounds something like this. Okay, practice that a few times until you feel comfortable. And then it's just like the beginning, the 1 chord in second inversion, then the 5-7 chord with that G in there, and then for the final chord, I like to play the D in an octave, and it's really that simple. Congratulations, you did it. You completed this lesson. Now, if you want to keep track of your practice and watch yourself improve, be sure to download the free link to access your free daily music practice planner. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you at your next lesson.